All right. Hey, thanks for checking out my video. Before you reach out to get any type of short-term financing, short-term business financing, merchant cash advance, MCA, comes in a lot of different names, right? Revenue-based financing. You should watch this video. You should watch this video. My name is David Wilson. I am managing principal of a company called Fund You Up. So we are in this space. We help small and mid-sized businesses get funding, both secured and unsecured, when traditional means are not available. You're likely watching this video because traditional means are not available. So it usually means there's a challenge in one of three areas. Challenge with credit. Maybe you have a credit challenge. Maybe you have a collateral challenge. So challenge with collateral. There is no collateral, or there's not enough collateral, or a challenge with time, either time in business or time in which the funds are needed. I have a myriad of success stories about how this type of funding, our type of funding, has helped business owners anywhere from purchase a competitor, expand, take advantage of new contractual opportunities, cover an unexpected expense, even make payroll, pay unexpected tax liability. You name it, we've seen it. One client said to me, if she doesn't make payroll by Friday, she'll be out of business on Saturday. And a lot of people face those challenges. But in my almost 17 years in this business, people come in, people leave. I know who all of the major funding players are, and I know some folks who don't ever want to be found. They are individual investors, might be a couple of people who never want to be found. They just work through companies like mine and others in the industry to get the deal done and get you funded. But what I want this video to do is really caution you about some of the things that go on in this industry. And before you go to Google and type in business funding, because that's the gut reaction. That's where we typically start. We start for everything on Google, right? The important thing is that you are working with someone, an actual person, who has a vested interest in your success. So if you type in business funding, you're going to get a whole bunch of stuff that comes up depending on where you're located, depending on where you are in the country, depending on who has bought that Google ad space. Is there anything wrong with that? I'm not here to judge how Google works and how you can buy ads and whatnot. I'm just saying, understand, just like with anything, some companies are buying space. At the end of the day, if you get treated fairly, everything should be fine. But I just want to give you a couple of a few tips and tricks that whatever you decide to do, armed with this information, you can at least make informed decisions. Number one, really have to understand the contract. So most contracts nowadays are going to come electronically, and you're gonna look at it and you're gonna e-sign everything. Put your e-initials, put your e-signature. It is very important that you read the contract and you understand not just how much you're being funded, but how much you are netting. In some cases, let's say, for example, a $100,000 funding. Great. Now I can make payroll because my payroll is $95,000. Awesome. And we're just waiting for contracts to come in. But come to find out, you have a 10% fee that comes out directly out of the funding. So your net funding is 90,000 instead of 100,000. If you didn't understand that prior to executing those documents, you're going to be short. So you must understand. Now, in some cases, you have someone like myself who's explaining the contract to you. Oftentimes, though, a lot of these companies, they don't do that. They don't do that because of volume. They don't do that because of training. Doesn't really matter if they don't do it. And if you don't understand what you're signing and you're going by what someone is telling you, then that can potentially be a perilous situation. Unfortunately, the deals we don't get done, the deals we are unable to do, are typically companies who have gone with another funder or multiple funders and have gotten into trouble. They had something misleading happen. They had something. They ended up getting what's called stacked. So they'll get multiple transactions on top of each other, multiple MCAs on top of each other, and it puts them in a really bad place with all these daily payments coming out and whatnot. So it's important you understand the contract. Second thing is, it is important that you understand that you have your expectations set properly, right? So if you're expecting to come to this table with a challenge with your credit score, no collateral, and you're seeking a particular amount to be funded, it's important you understand what you should be expecting. General rule of thumb for funding, I tell people, your average monthly top line revenue. So if you're seeking $100,000, your company should be doing somewhere in the neighborhood. And when I say the neighborhood, I mean like a house next door neighborhood of $1.2 million a year. If you're not doing that and your company does $50,000 a year and you're seeking $100,000, you won't get it in this space. Not without collateral. It will not happen. So don't work. You don't have to spend time doing that. It won't happen. So remember, average of your top line revenue, monthly average of your top line revenue. We get credit score is oftentimes not an issue in our space, but understand that if you have a credit score that is challenged, the cost of money is going to be higher. So expect rates, if you will, so cost of money to be in the 20, 30, 40, 50% range. Expect that, because this is a very risky space. I urge anybody, if you are here watching this video and you have not spoken to your banker, or you do not have a relationship with a business banker, let me know, and I'll steer you in the right direction. I have a network that extends across the country. I can probably put you in front of someone who can help you. If you have seen your banker and your banker was the one who told you had a 550 credit score, or a credit score that wasn't up to snuff for the bank, then you are in a good position to move forward. But know why you are in this space. If you are bankable, which means you are not facing any one of those three challenges: credit, collateral, or time, then I recommend you go to your bank. If you're bankable, you should be at a bank. Now, if you can't wait, that's where our space comes in, and that's where we can help you. Now, the third thing is communication. It is another peril of just going online and Googling business funding is you get someone who may never even call you. You may never hear someone's voice over the phone. It's all done electronically. And what happens sometimes is you realize that as you're getting all this information coming, all these information requests, you start getting these odd texts. You start maybe getting these odd phone calls from your funder. right? Hey, this is your funder calling. We need some information. We got hey, this is your. So what ends up happening as the process continues during this communication, so there's other companies looking at your public record, the inquiries, the about UCC filings and whatnot, and you potentially, sometime I've seen this happen during this discovery process, and I've seen it happen after the funding, and it can be very confusing. When you're working by yourself, you're spending all this time. Maybe you forgot who you spoke to, you forgot what they said, you forgot what the offer was, and you don't remember the lady's name, and then you get a text and you respond to it, and then you get and it's all very, very confusing. It's important. So going back to what I said earlier, it's important to have someone working on your behalf to help you get through all of this, navigate through all this. Because remember, here at Fund You Up, the deals we can't get done typically are from business owners who have gone the route of Google, who have gone the route of, hey, I'm just gonna reach out. I don't know if we'll get to that in number 4. I'll speak on that in number 4 as something you should that might help you. But anytime you're dealing with someone you don't know, someone who does not have a face, someone who does not have a voice, someone who is not advocating for you, it's very dangerous in this space. And some people may have experienced. You might be watching this today, and you may be saying, "Hey, I wish this guy had put this out 4 years ago to tell me about all this, because I know exactly what he's talking about." The fourth thing, don't come. You should be in a position where you're not being judged. So one of the principles, I guess, we adhere to here at Fund You Up is no judgment. Listen, business ownership is hard. We understand it's hard. We're business owners. We've been dealing with business owners for multiple decades, and we understand what it's like. We understand what it means to have a ding on your credit. We understand what it means to not have collateral. We understand what it means to have to make payroll by Friday, to get an unexpected tax bill. We know all of that. What's important, though, and this is where dealing with an advocate comes into play, you're not going to be judged. You're not going to be judged. I do need the information, though. So if your account is in the negative currently, just tell me, so that I can explain to my underwriting department how we can, once I understand your business and I understand your situation, how we can overcome this, what we need to do. Oh, I don't have a driver's license. My driver's license expired. Okay, tell me that now, so that we can figure out how to deal with it later. These other Google type companies, they're just gonna decline you, and they're not going to find a solution for you. So the main thing is finding an advocate. Whether it's me or and my company, or it's someone like me and my company, there are plenty of good people in this industry that do the right thing for their clients because they really want to help them. But there are plenty of others who do not. There are others that don't, and I am trying to warn you, not of those individuals specifically, but the way to get to folks like this, that what we're talking about here, is not doing what I'm suggesting. Find it. You may need to do a little bit more research. Check out social media, check out websites, check out, websites are so easy to get now. So a website is going to look, they're all pretty much the same, right? but really find someone who you can first get your story out to, explain what happened, and we'll walk you through the process. That's always been our philosophy here at Fund You Up. But this is not a sales pitch. This is not a pitch to, hey, do business with us. This is me sincerely giving you this information so that you can make an informed decision, and know what you deserve. So last thing I'll leave you with. You should never be forced into doing something you don't want to do. So if you don't want to sign a particular contract because you don't like what it says, you don't like the wording in it, don't sign it. Don't sign it. The deal is over with. The deal is done. So know that. Know what your rights are. Know what you have that is possible with your deal. And I think I'll leave you with another one as well. Know what you're going to use your money for. In this space, you don't want to be funded and have this money sitting around. Okay, you want to put this money to work because it's more expensive than bank money. Okay, if you have to make payroll, make the payroll. If you have to cover an unexpected expense, cover it, and let's get it moving so that we can work on paying this off, and then get back moving toward being a bankable business. That should be the goal. That should definitely be the goal. I'll leave you with one more. I keep saying that because there's so much that that I tell my clients about, being careful about. When you're working with an advocate, when you're working with an expert who has your best interest in mind, so not someone who was working with you, so partnering with you to get you this funding, and you need more funding, you can go back to that person. That is the easiest way to not get caught up in this hamster wheel of texts and emails from a whole bunch of people you don't know. You're dealing with one person, because this happens from time to time. You need $100,000, you get funded, and you come back and say, oh my goodness, I need $75,000 more on top of the 100. If you're already working with someone, they know how to do that the right way, versus you just going to Google and saying what you say, and we know how to say what we need to say in the way we need to say it to make the deal work best for you, the client. And again, I can't stress the importance, the differentiator, the main differentiator in this game, in this business, is experience. It's experience, knowledge, experience. So knowing who you're dealing with, knowing who the players are, knowing the mechanics of it, knowing what to say, knowing what to listen for, knowing how to get a client out of a sticky situation with a funder, knowing how to clear up misconceptions, knowing how to, all of this comes with being in this space for more than 6 months, more than a week. The barriers to entry to this space are pretty low. Find someone who you can trust, who has no problem explaining things to you, and will walk with you from start to finish. Again, that's always been our philosophy. That type of service. And as we built the experience and we learn things, sometimes the easy way, sometimes the hard way, we pass that on to our clients, right? So that's it. So I'm glad you watched. if you're thinking about getting an MCA, if you're thinking about MCA, merchant cash advance, revenue-based loan, small business loan, short-term loan, hard money loan, you hear all of these different terms. Now you have some information that you can use to make an informed decision. That said, if you'd like to work with me and my company, Fund You Up, you can click the link below in this video, and you can get the process started. We'd be happy to look at your situation and see how we can help set some reasonable expectations for you, for your situation, and how we can help you. We're also working on some other programs for business owners, and there'll be links in this video as well, talking about that. So thanks for watching. My name is David Wilson. I'm managing principal of Fund You Up. We help small and mid-sized businesses get funding, both secured and unsecured, when traditional means are not available. If you like this video, send it to somebody else. Click like, click subscribe, follow, share, all that good stuff, because someone probably needs to hear this today. Send it over to them. And at least if I know that you got up from this video with more information than you had before you sat down and watched, and now you can make an informed decision, whatever that decision may be, that is in your best interest, that's a win. That's a win. I'm happy with that. But reach out, connect with us on socials. You can go to our website, fundyouup.com. And that's in the underneath the video as well. But we'd here to help you any way we can. All right. Thanks for watching. Enjoy the rest of your day. And again, everyone should watch this video before you engage, before you are funded for a small business MCA merchant cash advance loan. Again, I'm David Wilson with Fund You Up, and thanks for watching. Take care. Have a marvelous day.